Welcome to the Got Money and Purpose podcast. My name is Raul Villacis, and I'm here with my beautiful queen.
Yes, so excited to be here. My name is Vivian Villacis.
And we're back. We're back in another season of the podcast. It's been a crazy summer. So if you're watching this live on YouTube, thank you for following us and tuning in. If you're watching us from Facebook, make sure you leave a comment. And if you're watching from YouTube, definitely make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what value that you getting from this podcast. We're committed to this season to bring you some insights on how to connect with God, how to make more money, and how to live with purpose, because that's what we live for.
So I know that, we're coming back from it's all back to school and kids are in school and we're doing the podcast again, but it's not like we're taking the summer off and not doing anything. I think we've had one of the summers this past summer that's been one that's really productive. We've done so much. I know that you are nonstop. So it's not like we're taking the summer off and not done anything. So you've been following us. We stand for relationships. We stand for marriages. Most of all, Raul and I individually, we really want to put our foot on this earth and really stand for truth. I stand for truth for the women, and I want to thank each and every one of you for even sending those little messages. That I got a message the other day of this woman who was literally singing to me and saying my name, and she made this into this beautiful voices that was coming through, and I was just so touched by that message, because it's okay, I feel God's love and I feel the importance of what we're doing. So I really want to thank you for the woman that was singing to me. It really touched me, for the messages, for everything that you guys do, for following us. Thank you. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And just know that we come onto this podcast because we know that we have a message, and not from a place of perfection, because Raul and I are far from perfect. We are striving every single day to love and respect each other and to give that back into the world.
I wouldn't be here without you. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We could have these conversations at home without the
And
cameras.
we do.
Every time that we talk in our date night or when we get together, we gotta go back to the podcast. We gotta bring this insight to the podcast, because
we like to do it. We like our kids to be part of it. We have a boy and a girl, and my son, even my daughter, they have such insight. So I think it's really amazing that we have this team and we could bring this information to all of you out there who are willing to listen.
So for this episode, one of the things that we and I wanted to discuss, and there's a lot of challenges right now in going back to school, going back to the grind, coming out of the summer, coming back from COVID. And we want to share some insights of some of the things that we're seeing with our clients, with your coaching clients, with my coaching clients. And hopefully this episode will give you some insight of how to get back into the routine, how to get back into school with the kids. And most important, we just came back from Mexico when we had a retreat for our Inner Circle members.
Amazing.
And one of the things that we were present to in that retreat is that the power of couples, when a man and a woman are on purpose, man, things just happen. A lot of us, but we feel like when we're in the grind as businessmen, we're constantly working and trying to provide and doing everything from our part to make sure that our family, our queen, our kids are provided for. Sometimes we miss that mark of why we do what we do. And I think that getting back to the core is why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? And as a woman, why do you do what you do? As a man, why do you do what you do? And from that place, create, and from that place, set the intention to be able to execute at a higher level.
Right. And I think that's, as I was saying, we came back from this event, and it was so beautiful to sit back and, I think, we always set the intention for what the event is going to be like, or for whatever it is that we're going to do, right? And at the end of it, we have this time to really soak up in all the information, all the downloads that we've gotten from the event. And we're kind of going to give you just 3 things that we feel are super important to kind of just bring back this information to you. And one of the things that I really saw from the men and the women was the fact that they prioritize each other, and none of these couples, none of the men or women would have been there, and not unless they felt like this was a priority. It is so important for me to be there with you. It is so important for me to feel like, okay, you are important to me. And that's something that we often forget. We're doing, I hear you saying that, right? We're doing every other thing. We're taking care of our business. We're taking care of our kids. We're taking care of our parents. We're doing all these things. And then yet we forget like, you are my priority. If we don't invest our time, money, and energy into each other, there may not be a marriage coming.
And one of the things that I was sharing with the guys at the retreat is that I didn't want to have kids. Like my
Right.
biggest fear, because we've been married for, it's going to be 23 years next week. So let's give Vivian a hand. Danny, do you have like an
This is
applause?
more like a 2 claps.
That's a great, no, something better than that.
Oh, yes, that is dreamy. That is dreamy that we made it this
23
far.
years. We made it 23 years. And,
It's more like a whole party. Like, yeah. But
and,
that's okay.
and one of the things that I was sharing with the guys in Cancun is that we were having so much fun because Cancun for us, that was our second honeymoon.
That's
we
right.
went to Cancun. We had a honeymoon in Hawaii and went to Cancun the second year.
That's right.
And we were 22, 23 years old, and we had no idea what Cancun was.
It got us in
And
trouble.
as soon as we landed in Cancun, we did what we would like to do, which is we signed up for every single excursion for a whole week, back-to-back excursions, right?
I remember
But we had no
that.
idea that it was a party town. We had no idea that it was just, we're
And
going to
we
drink.
were young and we liked to party and drink and have some tacos.
And we went out every single night. And one night you actually took 23 shots of tequila until
please.
now.
That is
was
my
a
way
legend.
past another version that I don't even
23 shots of
remember.
tequila. Vivian was dancing in the tables in
I was
the
dancing
bar.
everywhere by that time,
But the next day we had to get up at 6 a.m.
which we did.
to go to the excursion. I said,
Yes.
and you tell me, how do I want to go? I said, we paid for this already.
That's right, we're
We
going.
paid, so we
We're
have
going.
to go. And I remember the tours guy. We were in the back riding those horses, and you were so hangover, and you were like, I don't want to be
I'm
here.
sure I wasn't the only one. I thought you were there too. You just don't
But I
remember
was
that.
ahead. I was in the front. But I remember the tour guide telling you, because you were saying, hey, I'm going to lose my husband. I'm going to lose my husband. I want to catch up to my husband. And the guy was saying, don't worry, it's Cancun.
We'll find you a new one.
We'll find you another husband.
We'll
so
find you a new one.
We had so much fun in Cancun.
We
We
did.
kept on going back so like the first 7 years of our marriage, we had so much fun that I didn't want to have kids. So I started this conversation with saying I didn't want to have kids because I was afraid that we were going to grow apart. And I think a lot of marriages, they lose that adventure. They lose that time where they were maybe single without kids. And I
Right.
think having that retreat allowed them to, because it was a no kids resort.
It's adults only.
It was adults only. We got there. We were able to, in 3 days, to be able to create an experience where we feed the king and we feed the queen.
That's right. And some of them felt like it was more than 3 days because I remember having these conversations. They're saying to me, like, I have never taken so much information or taken so much time for myself that I feel like I've been here for like a whole week. And we were only there for 3 days. But it's like, that, how important is it for you to become a priority in your own list and to do the things that you want to do, the things that, that you are not entitled, but you get to do. You get to invest this time together.
And one of the reasons why we don't take our time to invest and recharge, I'm talking about resetting your mind, resetting your body, resetting your goals, resetting your intentions, recharge your mind, recharge your body, recharge your ideas, and recommit.
That's right.
Recommit to your vision, recommit to your marriage, recommit to your business. The reason that we don't do it is because we don't feel that we're worthy. We want to wait for that one day. Once I have enough money, then I'm gonna go on this trip. Once I have this, and the one day never comes.
That's right.
And that's what constantly I tell my guys. You have to reset, recharge, recommit, find the opportunities for you to spend and calibrate your time. Time,
right.
money, and energy. Whatever you focus your time, your money, and your energy to is going to grow.
That's right. So then I was also thinking, because a lot of the women, they're like, well, we can't do this very often. And if you're listening to this right now, like, you may not be able to go to this beautiful adventures or a couple retreats, but if you really take the time and, just cut out some time in your schedules and then do something with each other, I think it makes such a difference because that's something that you and I have always done. And that's like one of the biggest gifts that you've given me is to really feel like I am your priority. And even though it's hectic, even though sometimes at the beginning we didn't want to go away or it was too complicated to go away, we made that time.
And the commitment that you and I had from the beginning, when we had kids, I said,
Yes.
that's my biggest fear. So I was able to share with you what my fear was, right? So I said, babe, we're gonna have kids. Now, like, my biggest fear is that we're gonna grow apart because I saw my parents growing apart.
Yeah.
My mom was always saying my kids are a priority. My kids come first than my husband. I didn't want to be the second in the family.
You
So
wanted
I
to be
said,
number one.
we needed to prioritize our marriage and continue to have these adventures together every single year. So when our son was 1 year old, before he was even 1 year old, we went back to Cancun.
Yeah.
We went back to Cancun to have our fun, to have our party, and we've been partying ever since. Every single year we go somewhere, we invest in ourselves, and we actually have that time.
Yeah.
One of my biggest insights from, because in this retreats, you took the girls and you had like your spa day and you had your time together, and I took the men and we actually did some king shit, right? We actually did some adventures and some stream stuff. And one of the stream things that we did is we actually went to a ceremony that's called Temazcal. A Temazcal is where they put you in an oven-like furnace, and we put all the men in there, and then I don't know how hot it is, but we put us there for about 2 hours in this furnace, right?
Yeah.
And the shaman created a ceremony where we actually let go of all our fears, all our insecurities, whatever it is that we're dealing with, right?
Right.
And one of the things that the shaman said is, whatever you're going through right now in this furnace, in this heat, imagine this is your hell, right? You and we're gonna face it. Was 4 parts. One was the dream, what you want. The second is, follow the path of where the dream is gonna take you.
Okay.
The third is, see the obstacles of the journey, because it's not gonna be easy. The
Right.
fourth is death. It says now is when you kill your excuses. Now is when you kill your fear. And 2 hours in there, from
You're like,
dreaming
"Please, let
to
me just
path,
kill
I'm
this
like, man,
now."
I'm like, I was so eager to get out of there. But one of the things that the shaman said is, whatever it is that you fought, whatever the battle is that you were dealing with in this experience, leave it here. Don't bring it back home. Like, we have the tendency to relive our past, our fears, our failures, whatever it is that we went through. And that's what creates insecurities. That's why men don't overcome their failures, because we constantly live on the past. Leave that shit there. Whatever it is that you're going through, like the summer's over. Whatever happened in the summer, leave it there. Whatever happened last year, leave it there. How can we focus
On what's in front of
what's
you.
to come?
Or the
One
present.
of my best taglines that I always use is, the best is yet to come. And
Yes.
I've said this to you since we got married, and all our cards.
Yes.
When I couldn't afford a present, I said, don't worry, babe, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. And I keep on saying that because I truly believe
There's
that the
always
best
something.
version of us is yet to come. So we have to believe it, and we have to become it. So
I love that.
let's give the listeners a little bit of insight, Vivian, of how you and I prepare for like another season. How are we preparing for the winter season? How are we preparing for even the season that we're in? I believe there's going to be a really hard season with the economy, with the market, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs that watch us, that follow us, that consume our content, that are married, and they need to know the season that we are going to encounter.
Well, especially when it's like the winter that you know that it's coming, I think, which brings me to maybe point number 2 for me that I got, from this event and what we took away is trust. And that is something that for us women, like, we really need to feel the trust. And I think one of the questions that I wrote down, if I remember correctly, is like, can I trust that you're going to be there for me? Can I trust that you're going to take care of me? And if you're in a relationship, you want that question answered from a place of like this, like a soul answer, right? Something that's like, it's true for you. It's not like something that you have to make up. And when I was there just holding the space for the man and the woman and the couples there, it's like, do they feel the trust? Do they feel that this person in front of you, it's not going anywhere, and you got me? Like, I trust that you're going to be there for me. I trust that you're going to take care of me. I trust that, we're in this together. So from what you're saying, I would say, like, when we prepare is knowing that the winter is coming, knowing that it's going to be some harsh, whether it's, you think of it climate or harsh, challenges, economy.
A lot of guys are going to be, and I just came from an event.
Conversations.
Robert Kiyosaki talks about like the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, and it's a winter coming.
Yeah, and
There's a
we
hard
know
economic
that
crash
the
coming, so-
winter is time for like kind of just like to buckle down, right? Like to really like get your food, prepare, and it's really like a time for preparation. And I think what you and I usually do is we take time to really get clear as to like what is coming. First of all, where are we and how are we going to prepare for it? And we have this honest conversations, and it's something that I think you started to do for this past couple of years, is like you've painted to me the big vision of whether it's, like what's coming, what's not coming, what we need to do. And it really brings me to a place of like, okay, well, this is where we are. And how can we continue to move forward? And how can we do better choices from this place?
If a man cannot paint the vision, if a man cannot bring certainty in winter,
And
in moments of
yep.
chaos, that's where women, was just having a conversation with one of our coaches.
We lose the
Women
trust.
lose the trust.
Yeah.
A woman want to become the man in the family. So there's a polarity issue that happens in a relationship. That's what's a lot. There's
And
a lot
anxiety.
there's a lot of struggles that happen in business. The divorce rate in entrepreneurship is higher than normal because women and men, whenever there's an economic crash, the first thing you do is "I told you so. I told you shouldn't be in the business. I told you shouldn't do this." And then men blame their wives blame their husbands, and then chaos is created.
That's right.
But if they just stick together and they connect at a deeper level, realizing that nothing is going to last forever, there's no winter that lasts forever. Like
No.
things shall pass.
Yes.
As long as they continue to trust one another, trust in their capacity, they'll be able to weather the storm.
And I think that's a good question even to have for as a couple, like what part of me needs to like really trust you? Because I think sometimes we say we trust you, but there is some almost like an imaginary wall that's already built from the past. Maybe you need to have the conversation with yourself. I know I have. It's like there's parts of me that didn't trust you because X, Y, and Z. How do I just let go of that? And then maybe bring that forth to your conversation. How do we get rid of that and know like, okay, can I trust you now? Are you going to show up for me? Are you here for me? Will you continue to be here for me? Especially if the winter's coming. Like, I need you. Like, there might be like this tiger that comes out of or a bear that comes out of the bush. Will you be there to protect me?
That's where the man has to do three things. And I believe that in this winter, if guys are listening to this podcast, there's a winter coming in economic crash.
Yeah.
I believe that is worse than what people are expecting it to be. But there's three things that you need to do. Number one is you need to manage fear. As a man, you need to manage fear. You need to make sure that you have those real conversations with your wife, with your kids, with your employees,
Yeah,
with your team,
true.
and manage
True.
fear. Then you need to minimize doubt. They need to believe that you have a vision. They need to believe that you have a plan of action. And then you have to eliminate excuses. Eliminate any excuse that you have right now not to lead. Eliminate anything that's stopping you from not going all in into your business, into your marriage, into your vision, into your purpose. Because when the crash happens and when there's an economic crisis, doubt is at all-time high. Crisis creates more fear. And then now you buy into excuses. Then you buy into the what ifs. You buy into procrastination. Now is not the time for you to play small. Now is not the time for you to play dumb or even to play like nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'd rather you be prepared for what's coming than for you to be surprised for what's coming. And that's the conversation that we had with our guys in a retreat. It's like build your marriage so strong that no storm could destroy it.
That's
Connect at a deeper level. Have faith with God. God is giving you exactly what you need for you to get stronger. God will always will never give you more than you could handle, whether it's blessings or curses, right? Meaning that he will not put more pressure on you that you cannot handle, but at the same time, he will not give you the blessings that you want based on the things that you could handle. So if you don't have the business right now that you want, or the marriage that you want, ask yourself, how can I grow and expand so I could handle the blessings, so I could manage and be a good steward of the money, be a good steward of the impact, be a good steward of the leadership that I have.
But sometimes we're asking for God, or we're even asking like our God or our partners, right? Like something that we want. And then when we get it, then we realize like, I can't handle it. I can't take care of this, or I can't do this. So I think we really have to be prepared for what we're asking. And that's another thing. Like I would just add to like those three things that you said, and to have that partnership, to have that relationship in this place where it's like a great foundation is to continue to invest in yourself and to find the connection with your partner. Because I think like if you and I didn't make the time to find connection, to find time for like loving and edifying and respecting each other, I don't think we would have been able to have the foundation that we have.
What we said on the retreat is if you don't invest in yourself, if you're not feeding the king, if you're not feeding the queen, you're expecting your wife to fulfill you and you're expecting your husband to fulfill you.
Yeah.
Two half-assed people cannot make a whole. Like you need to be a whole man, you need to be a whole woman, and you have to empower yourself so you come together and create magic.
Right.
Because that's what a power couple is. That's where at least you and I strive to kind of live up to that. Okay, you do what you need to do, and I know what I need to do, and then we come together and we celebrate overflowing, you know, from where we are, not needing each other.
But that's
and
the
taking from
part.
each other.
I think that's the part that a lot of people forget. It's like, okay, you're working on you, I'm working on myself, and then we forget to come back together. Because you see, I think that's a struggle that I see a lot now. Is like there's a lot of men out there that are like having amazing business. A lot of them do. And then I see a lot of women who are like now want to have the business, or they're having like something so great that they feel like, okay, I got all of this. And then they forget to come back.
Without
and I think
the relationship, without the connection,
it's not
empty.
the same.
It's empty.
Yeah.
Like I could give you a list of many conversations that I've had where the guy's like, man, I built a business. Now I don't know what to do in my marriage.
Now my marriage is a shambles.
And that's where we want to make sure that as you grow as you grow in your success, as you grow in your business, as you grow as a man, like understand that everything is integration. Nothing is separate. The way that you treat your wife is the way that you treat your business. The way you treat your business, the way that you connect with God. The way that you connect with God and you see God is the way that you think or you feel about yourself. So everything is connected. Your body, your being, your business, your bonds. And if you're not integrating everything into one every single day, sharpening your edge every single day, making sure you put in the work every single day, at the end of the day, the process or the progress, it's the success, it's the fulfillment, not the destination. There is no destination. Destination is death. You know, we're going to die. We're not going to take anything with us. It's the experience that we have together, the relationships that we create, the impact that we
along
actually
the way.
Make along the way is what matters.
I love that. That's so true. So just thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for just taking it all in. Just quickly, like maybe wrap up the 3 points that we have learned or we've taken.
You give them the 3 points, I give them my 3 points. So
I said
what
the
are
three things.
points?
For one is trust. Know like you could trust your partner, your lover, your king. Trust yourself too. I would say, again, prioritize. Like, what is a priority to you? Are you making your relationship a priority? Are you making yourself a priority? And 3, I would say just have a clear vision as to like, where are you going? If this winter is coming, like, are you ready for it? Have you painted that clear vision around that? And even, you know, I would say like 4th thing is allow yourself to find connection to yourself, to God, because he is so full of abundance. We just don't make the time to find the connection, and find the connection to your spouse, to your lover, and to your king.
Great. My 3 things. You have to manage fear. Manage fear in the times of chaos and moments of crisis. Manage fear. The second is minimize doubt. There's doubt in your mind. There's doubt in the people around you. Minimize doubt. And the third, eliminate excuses. You have to eliminate any excuse that you have. Say, fuck my excuses. I'm committed to my results. And that's how I'm going to level up. So thank you for following this podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you comment. Make sure you give us a question for next time. And let us know where you're watching us from. I appreciate every single one of you. Learn it, live it, experience it.
Love life.
If you receive any value from this conversation, comment, subscribe, and share as we continue to impact more people and take it to the next level.
And please send us your comments and questions so we could answer them in the next podcast.
See you in the next episode.